Welcome to Chapter 3 of the eConnect certification program. Today we're going to go over the Query Builder. The Query Builder is a tool used for more advanced searches when you want to look for something in particular or a check. So to navigate to the Query Builder, you're going to go to POS at the top of your screen, and then you'll see in the subcategory of Query Builder. Now once you enter the Query Builder, you're going to see a series of numbers. We have a number 1, number 2, and a number 3. Once you've added another condition under the criteria field, we'll see a number 4, and these are the 4 steps we have to follow to run any query. So to begin, we're going to run a query and we're going to look for coffee. So we want to look for any checks that contain coffee in them. So what we're going to do is, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to number 1, which is our date range or our time. Then we're going to select our date range. Now we can manually come in and we can enter in a time that we would like to start our search from. We can hit the calendar, which will bring up the calendar and allow us to go back in time to view a specific day or series of days. Or we can hit the drop down here and select from anywhere from the last hour to the last 60 days. So I'm going to select the last 8 hours. Under the number 2 is where we're going to add our criteria. Now under the criteria, we'll see several different choices for us to choose from. The most commonly used are going to be basic data, which is how we search for anything that's on a check. And as long as it's spelled the same way or written the same way as it is in your POS system, you'll search for it. For example, water. If water in your POS system is spelled WTR, it has to be spelled WTR when you search for it under basic data. Check number. If you're looking for a specific check number, we can click on the plus symbol here, and we can quickly go in and type in the check number we're looking for, and go from there. Monetary amount. If you're looking for a specific dollar amount, we can add this one in. Employee name. We can type in, we can click here, add it, and hit the drop down, and we can see all the employees, and we can get a specific employee. Employee number. We can add this and be able to enter in any employee number that we have. We have event type identifier, which will let you see every type of event type that's in the system. You can quickly come in. You want to see all of the no sales. We can select no sale, and we can do that search. Revenue center name, revenue center number, terminal name, terminal number. All of these are ways that you can search for advanced or for queries. Now, for this instance, we said we're going to look for coffee, so we are going to click the plus symbol to the left of basic data. And you'll see under number 3, we've done our configure fields, and that basic data is moved over to that location. Now, under number 4, we see the text condition. And here's where we're going to enter coffee. By default, this will say contains. So now we're telling the system that we want to look at this date range, and we want to look for basic data and the text condition that contains coffee. So we go ahead and hit query, and now I'm going to have the results for all the coffees sold in that 8-hour time frame at this property. Now from here, what you've been taught earlier lessons is we can go to aggregate, and we can aggregate it by revenue center, by employee, by date, by dollar amount. But what we want to focus on here is in the Query Builder, when we're searching for queries, is it only allows you to search for a single line in a check. For instance, here we see the coffee. So if we wanted to search for a coffee and we wanted to search for a total due of 241, we wouldn't be able to do this because they're on 2 completely separate lines. But if we want to search for a coffee that was sold by this employee at a Starbucks or at a Burger King, we can put those fields in and search for that, and we will return a result. So let's go back to the Query Builder, and we have our coffee that we just searched for. Now, if you want to save this query, and this is something you want to look at regularly, you can click on Save As, and now we can type in, this is our coffee query, and we can save it. If you'd like to make it private, you can check the private box, and now only you will be able to see it when you log in. And once you hit save, it will be displayed on your home screen as one of your queries listed. Now, if you come back and you want to edit a query that you've previously made, you can hit this drop down. It'll show you all of your saved queries. We click on the query and we hit load, and you will see it automatically loaded the configure fields in for us that were filled out the way we had them filled out. Now I can edit this query as much as I'd like and save it again, and now it will replace my existing query with my new query. So let's go back to where we were. We were looking for coffee. Now let's say I want to look for any checks that contain coffee or milk. I would simply add a condition. So now when you look in here, I have basic data contains coffee, and my next condition I'm going to put milk. Now if you try to search for any checks that contain coffee and milk, you see the and here, and we hit query, it will not return any results because, once again, this is looking for multiple lines on a single check. This can be done through an advanced query. If you would like help with advanced queries, you can contact your eConnect representative and they will help you with this. But what we want to do is we want to look for checks that contain coffee or milk. So we've changed this to or. We hit query. Now we're going to see all of our results for coffee or milk that were sold on checks. So from here, once again, we can go in, we can aggregate it by revenue center. We can further drill down into our data. Or if we're trying to build a query that we can save and go to regularly, we can go back into our query builder. And let's say we only want to see anytime milk or coffee were sold at a Starbucks. We can go down here to revenue center name. And I get the drop down and I'm going to select Starbucks, but I have two Starbucks. So I'm going to add another condition. I'm going to grab my second Starbucks, change this to or. So now I'm looking for basic data of coffee or milk being sold at DM Starbucks or this Starbucks. And when I run my query, I'll get my results. And now I have a query that's narrowed down a field that I can say that's going to show me the things I want to see. Now this can easily be done with your different event types. If you want to look at no sales or voids, you want to see any checks that have a no sale or a void on them, you can do it the same way. For example, we go into our event type identifier and we want to see anytime there is a discount, then we add a condition, change it to or, and we're going to say menu item voided. Now I'm looking for those two items. I hit query and I get all of my results. All right, and lastly, we're going to show you how to search by check number. If you receive a call from an employee stating that a customer gave them a $100 bill, the employee says they only received a $20 and you need to review that. Now we can quickly go find that exact check by coming over and selecting check number, hitting the plus sign to the left of that. Now under our number 4 area, the add filter conditions, we can type in our check number. In this case, we're going to use 5910. And we're going to say the check number equals this. Now, if you want to look for all checks that came after this check number, because you know what happened later than that, we can go up here and select any number greater than or equal to. If we want to search for checks that happened before that, we can change this drop down. But for this case, we want to look for that specific check number. So now we're going to hit query. And now we're going to get each line that happened in that check. We can see the begin check, what was ordered, what the total due was, and now if we need to go back and verify the video, we can do that. Thank you for watching the Chapter 3 training video, and good luck on your quiz.